Good evening and welcome. It's KVCARTs, arts and entertainment in our region, as well as the people providing it. I'm Sahar Khadjenoury. Tonight is music and conversation with rapper and hip-hop artist Defy. And you can find his and other music videos on the Aux, the Aboriginal Unity Experience, the Indigenous music video series from FNX. So I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Defy. Can you tell me, how did your name come about?
I got my name Defy, short for Definition Rare. I'm in a group with a friend of mine. It's also got roots in being like, there's hi-fi, lo-fi, high definition, low definition, Defy, somewhere in the middle. There's a Pro Tools plugin actually that came out too, and it helps artists or engineers too, like have a sound that's organic, analog, but still existing in a digital realm. I liked how that sounded when I first heard about it, read about that. It's also short for defiant, because hip hop to me is like a form of resistance. And I played a lot of baseball when I was young, and I did a lot of baseball tournaments for Defiance. So Defy has always been a part of me. When I was a little kid reading about hip hop in elementary, they have the little books in the library that have little glossary terms at the end. There was a hip-hop book. In the back, there was the word deaf. And back in the 80s, early 90s, deaf was synonymous with fresh, being fresh. And I is just who I am. So it kind of worked out together. It's also short for definitely eternal, forever eternal. So that means, basically what's inside you lasts longer than what's your skin or your body. So leaving my mark through music in that sense, Defy stuck with me throughout the time.
Bravo. That's definitely something it sounds like you thought about, and I like you have that techie side.
Yeah, thanks. Oops.
And I especially noticed it because you already scoped out the microphone, so that was pretty impressive. And I feel like maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. I should have you introduce yourself in Navajo.
Okay, yeah. Yat eshe Christopher Mike Bita Yinishe, Nakaidene Inishle, Tachitni Bushes Chin, Hoantlana, Dashache, Ado Tobane, Dashanala.
Which is fantastic because I'm also, my first clan is Nakaidene.
Right.
And Persian Bushes Chin, but Ahni Dashache, Persian Dashanala. And for our listeners, that means that my first clan is the Mexican People clan. And I'm born for the Persian, and my grandfather is from the Folded Arm clan, and my paternal grandparents are Persian, but that is fantastic. That means you and I are brother, sister?
I think so, yeah, from the first clan. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
What a small world.
That's true.
I remember in high school on the res, it was kind of looked down upon to speak Navajo at school. You got teased for it, for being I guess you'd call it a country bumpkin. But now it's actually, people are wishing they had learned, and they're wanting to learn, and there's this new pride, I guess, in being Diné or being, I guess, Native in general. What's your experience been like?
As a youth, there was only one other Native American student when I was going to school in Albuquerque at Mark Twain Elementary. But when I moved to Shiprock, everybody was like, yo, you're Native, but then you don't really look or act exactly like we do, because I was from an urban area right before, so I had a little trouble fitting in. And a lot of people did speak the language there. Thanks to my grandparents on my mother's side, they taught me a lot about Diné culture. But I didn't speak it as fluent as others, so I'm still learning, and I'm able to at least understand more, taking some classes to try to brush up on my Diné. I recently got asked to be a part of this worldwide Choppers song that originates from Project Blowed out here in L.A. So that's a land of the choppers. Choppers like rapping really fast, so they want me to chop in Diné. So I'm having a friend of mine help me at least do a couple bars, so I could put our own dialect and native tongue in it too. But that's it's a challenge for me too, because to be able to rap and chop your syllables up so quick and so in a way where it's on the beat, almost like a double time, it's going to be something even more of a challenge to be able to do that in Diné, because we have different glottal stops and tonal like sounds and everything like that. So I'm still learning, but I definitely want to apply it more in my music. There's other Dene rappers out there too who can speak and rap, and I give them credit too. That's much respect to them, but I want to do it in a different way where I don't think people chop in Dene before, but I want to try it out. It's a challenge though. So, yeah.
I'm so curious, but I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
When you're ready.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No, I'm not ready yet. I barely got asked, like, I'd say maybe a couple weeks ago, so I'm still writing. I probably won't do my whole verse in Dene. That's going to take a long time, but I will throw some lines in there. So when I'm ready, I'll send it your way.
Yes, I'll be looking forward to that. What's great is that you came to San Bernardino, and we're shooting tonight's episode of KVCARTs. Can you tell our audience where you're from, actually where you're living now, and where you grew up?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Then I moved to Shiprock, New Mexico. My family on my maternal side, they live in Sonosti, New Mexico, and originate from Beautiful Mountain, which, we have 4 sacred mountains in our homelands, but it's also believed that Beautiful Mountain is also another sacred mountain, because when the 2 twins, as legend goes, before they went up to the sun to gather the type of tools and weapons to help save the planet, they had a ceremony in that mountain there. And if to this day, if you go there, you'll see a male hogan in the mountain, and it's huge, and it faces the east. So as the legend goes, you could tell like the land tells its story and speaks truth. So I was like, wow, I didn't know that until my grandfather shared that with me, like Mache, a long time, as we say our grandfather back home. But that's where I'm from. So I'm very thankful and blessed to be from that area. And Albuquerque, not too far from there. So I was on and off the res for a long time.
So being from Shiprock, you take a part, your culture is definitely ingrained within you. And you're also, a hip-hop artist. Do you find yourself often, melting the two together, the two worlds?
Yeah, I'd say so. Some of my songs, I try to include a lot of my Dene culture in it, as well as hip-hop culture, primarily from both of them together. I found a lot of similarities between being Dene and being a hip-hop artist at a young age because of the number 4, the sacred number 4. There's 4 elements to life, 4 seasons, 4 stages of life mainly, and there's also 4 sacred herbal medicines that many natives use for ceremony, and hip-hop. There's 4 sacred elements, or 4 main elements to hip-hop. As a Dene person, we're surrounded by 4 sacred mountains, and a lot of times us rappers or MCs end up rapping on 4/4 time signature beats. So it all sticks together, and it has a great connection between both cultures. And just that being said, knowing that, I feel like every time I rap, it's almost like you're including your Dene history and identity along with it, because for many generations our people have been singing or praying over drum beats in ceremonies, and I try to consider my music being the same way, not just raps but also prayers in a sense.
Yeah, as Earth's soil is exploited on the map, they got the oil on tap, enjoying spoils of the frack. They try to lie to us and say that this does not occur, but the truth is the creating agents in our aquifer play the mockingbird and face another officer, all in the meanwhile while taking rape another plot of earth. Greedy CEOs hide beneath the blame, and they claim it's the golden goose, so why should we complain? I'm trying to free my people inside of this evil frame. I'm tired of this greedy game and the lies that'll eat your brain. Strip people from the land to start making this money, and you wonder why foreigners have a hate for this country. We look fake and so ugly, faceless, tainted and bloody, from the eyes of a child who's jaded, naked and hungry. Respect hardworking people with the trade and the vision, but there's other ways of getting paid and making a living. It's crazy what they can do to say to pay for your pension. Awake the slaves to the system and break the chains from this fiction. Contracts filled with trickery, that's an understatement. All I know that as in this industry, there's nothing sacred. You can test for chemtrails in the rain puddles. Remain humble, cause we all came from the same struggle. You could strike a match or maybe flick a lighter to a faucet and watch tap water catch fire. They're making millions off our misery and liquor sales. One day the Mother Earth will tip the Richter scale. Then those pipelines get stripped like Chippendales. All these issues are artificial like missile trails, until it hits all the ditches and the wishing wells. I'm not trying to diss you, I really wish you well. Tap it till it's drained, there's acid in our rain. We come to a naturalization and we could catch and feel her pain. Currently they're searching for a planet to invade, looking for alien natives to capture then enslave. Creating more jobs at our environment's expense, where the truth won't cut it like the IRS's checks. They want you to survive if you're retirement at best. They're playing catch with us and relying on us to fetch. Success is rising up and flying on excess. We're stressed on a daily basis, tied up in this mess. But watch the world plummet on its cybernetic legs and hire someone to burn it down for pyrotech effects. They'll fire anyone who is defiant or against, and put a rifle to the chest if you're a rival over threat. Yo, I wish we could all cipher and siphon out the rest, but truthfully their actions are stifling at best. Whatever we can count and amount to now today, it won't compare to future generations down the way. Times I feel like I can't rely on my own tribal leaders, relying and signing deals for those supplying glycol ether. This is polluting our people and it's dividing the land. The pursuit for the root of all evil meets the demise of its plan. The land of encrackment, gas is extracted in traffic, hazardous ashes implanted and trapped in a sand pit. From Canada and back, the passage is cracked in fragments. Actual facts, sample the track, then track damage. Having a bad trip, imagining what you had for granted. Now catch a random acts from random acts acting backwards. Their money stacks higher as the fire runs rampant. Packaging cans for the masses while they damage and impact the planet.
Wow, you're fantastic.
Oh, thanks. You too.
Actually, oh, thank you. You know, when I'm listening to your music, you're so conscious about the environment, and you're so aware of what's going on now. Why do you think that it's important to bring that awareness and creating music? I think is your platform. Why is it important that we create this? You know, it's beyond just like a local awareness. It's like an international awareness.
I think it's important because our people haven't really had a main voice like until very recently to tell our own stories and our own narratives. And hip-hop is the perfect platform that allows people to express themselves either through music, MCing, dancing, visual arts, or even just DJing too. So I feel like hip-hop is a very, very beautiful and sacred art form. And I somewhat believe that, I actually do believe that our people have been kind of practicing these elements of hip-hop for many years, just in somewhat different contexts. But it's very important, I think, that especially now, to get our messages out there, because it's important for us to tell our own stories and create our own history versus always just reading about it from your school books.
That's exactly what I think of when I listen to your song Land of Enfrackment, for example, and really like battling or taking on fracking on our homelands. That's really something pretty courageous. Give us a lyric from your song.
Okay, at the end of the Land of Enfrackment, I end it off like this. It goes, the land of enfrackment, gases extracted and trafficked, hazardous acids planted and trapped in our sand pit. From Canada and back, the passages cracked in fragments, actual facts sampled, attract and track damage. And it goes on a little bit more, but basically providing an image of the environmental damage or injustice that's happening here in the Southwest, where I'm from. We have a slogan, or the state basically is known as being the land of enchantment, but in all, when you drive out to the rural areas, out on the reservation, away from like Albuquerque and Santa Fe, you see a lot of hydraulic fracturing zones, and it's really starting to overwhelm the land a lot. It's getting close to Chaco Canyon and other sacred sites that our people have been from, and I feel like that song provides a little bit of awareness about what's happening out there, because a lot of people don't really see that. If you're primarily in Santa Fe or Albuquerque, you got to drive out to the reservation to really see the damage that's being caused from a lot of these hydraulic fracturing zones. And that song, Land of Enfrackment, speaks on what's happening. The last couple bars that I just recited are at the end of the song. Thanks for asking about that.
I love that. It's creating awareness not just to, a smaller demographic. This is to people of our same age and even people who are younger. So, wow, yes. And your song "Water is Life," I think last year, Standing Rock really opened up our eyes in so many ways. What inspired you, of course, to write this particular song?
A lot of the water protectors out there inspired me to write that song. I just kept seeing my feeds on all social media platforms become swept over from water protectors broadcasting from their phones, basically. And after seeing what was happening there, I felt like at least I could offer myself and my skill set as an MC to at least also help spread awareness and get the message out there, like, hey, we as hip-hop artists don't always just have to rap about the basic topics that most hip-hop artists rap about, but we can focus on larger issues and environmental issues that are at hand right now currently, such as Standing Rock, No Dapple, and many other, how should I say, I don't want to use a bad word, but just a lot of treachery going on in our country and other places that are being caused from large corporations that are trying to sweep the nation to make money and profit over, Mother Earth, basically.
Water is life. What up? Yeah. Some are making comparisons, others hate on my heritage. Say what they say, I'm labeled as a Native American. Seen another native, too faded, made an embarrassment. Have to tell our own stories and make our own narratives. They look in my face and start behaving racist and arrogant. Stating our case, but we're more than able to bear with it. Wash the pain away, it's okay, the rain will take care of it. Sacred locations made to embrace and then cherish it. I'm bombing on these walls, some people calling it graffiti. Throwing up a hollow, then it's followed by a 3D. Tagging up No Dapple, they're not honoring the treaties. We tried to call Obama, but Obama wouldn't see me. Following the dollar, nothing's offered to the needy. They're watching on their TV and their pockets are too greedy. Peace to all our people who were brought up in the teepees. Average Americans think we're all living off of freebies. They say history repeats itself and is constantly repeating. They try to slaughter all of us and thought it would be easy. They're locking us up and don't even want us to be breathing. Caught up in a gauntlet, yet we keep walking through these meetings. Stop swallowing their vodka when your body should stop reeking. We've seen hollow broken dreams, no bottles and no genies. Too many of my people have fallen from diabetes. We can stop it from succeeding and no, we're not retreating. What happens when gas and fossil fuels start leaking? Proceeding towards our rivers while our livers start bleeding. I'm rocking my box while I'm rocking these mics. We all can unite for what's right, for water is life. The last time I checked, they were desecrating grave sites. Spoke to God and said, this is messed up and it ain't right. All people of color, we're together in the same fight. We are not infected, we're protected from their snake bite. Made weapons of mass expression, step into the stage light. They're spreading out bread and credit whenever they lay pipe. How could we ever be trespassing over our own lands? We have our prayers taught and taught as we hold hands. Tired of being oppressed by the oppressor. Tired of being labeled a protester, not a protector. We're natives of today, saving our ways. The hate's fading away as we raise prayers and sage. Security snakes making a wage, spraying mace in your face. Government slaves do what it takes to get paid. We can't drink oil, please leave it in the soil. Only the royalty are reaping up the spoils. Some leaders are misleading us and leaving us to boil. Our heart keeps beating while earth's bleeding in turmoil. Truthfully, I speak in unity with my community. They say break a leg, my homie said, how about wounding knee? My slow flow is thrown at you, this is no dapple. White dapple security, looking like cold statues. Yet they claim we showed up with shotguns and Molotovs. Calling all warriors to drop your tomahawks. Yeah, we brought the peace pipes and Tatanka songs. It's like a lot of cops forgotten all the common laws. This dream-like sleep provides clean sight as we breathe and see light. And MCs rewrite history with these mics. We fight the beast inside alongside corrupt police who read rights to put us in dog kennels like felons with 3 strikes. Each night we dream life could seem bright between flights. Rhyme schemes of bright beams, divine beings who reach heights. There really is no justice, no peace, just my peace pipe. While the privileged live and think everything seems nice. The earth is not a test tube, respect reign in life. Now the front line is everywhere, protect sacred sites.
I just wanted to get more involved and show my support. So I wrote the song Water is Life and shot a music video for it too. It came out great. It stars 2 dancers, my friend Sequoia and my good friend Xavier. They're very young, but they're amazing, talented dancers. It was directed by my friend Daryl Bolton. The song, it's definitely close to me. It's one of the songs that I really love on my new album, Aero Rhymantics. And if you haven't seen it already, you can watch it here on FNX too. Or the Aux, right?
Yeah, the Aux. And for your fans that are watching, we have been checking out your Facebook Live videos. And you also have a different style. So aside from hip-hop with rap with traditional hip-hop beats, I noticed that you've also been mixing in a more jazzy feel and kind of like bringing those 2 worlds together. How did you come up with that idea?
Bringing those 2 worlds together stemmed from the recent collaboration that I've been working on with the live band, the Delbert Anderson Trio. Together we go by DDAT, D-D-A-T. And we formulated something kind of different. It's like jazz, it's funk, it's hip-hop, spoken word, rap, and a little bit of some other elements in there too. But we've been recently making a lot of headway as a band with our live performances. People enjoy it from all different age groups. The children seem to enjoy it, and teenagers and the younger generation because of the rap aspect. And the older crowd really enjoy it because of the jazz element. So people really enjoy that because like they see the musicianship between all of us, and it's also just raw and funky too. So it's been a great experience working with a live band too, because I don't, little things like not having to bring my USB to the set or worrying about having a DJ show up late. It's like the band provides everything there for you. So we have a live trumpet, we have a percussionist, and an upright bass player, and I'm the front man on the mic.
Staring at the sunset, headed westward bound. Less than a quarter mile away, time to exit now. I'm heading out and I'm coming back on a separate route with my luggage packed. Left my town for the love of rap. Cruising on the expressway as I'm passing you by. Steady moving through the left lane on the passenger side. Always on the clutch, don't need for manual drive. Safe travel through that avenue, reach your traveler's guide. Blasting through traffic, avoid crashes on I-25. Always live with the rhyme, I ride up the vibe in that natural high. Rode all night to make the show on time. Just to hold that mic right and quote my lines. I'll be home by twilight, off that solo grind. Always on the go, thanks to those who know my rhymes. It's that photo frame that hangs in this picture perfect. Glad that I came, what can I say? This trip was worth it. Mix it within minutes, things look different from a distance. So don't let your marathons get mixed up with your wind sprints. Going where nobody knows and no one cares. It's the bare country road and some open air. Late night, the roads align into Orion's belt. Let's take my rhyme to a different space, time, and realm. Grind through any type of weather, strive to earn my stripes and feathers. Slicing on the mic and sever. Provide sight for the blind, intersight the divine. Right rhymes might write by my side of the drive until the night shine bright. Living life forever. Until your goals reach for it. Pay the toll, proceed for it. Train to go things for those who take the road while we touring.
So together we're a quartet. Once again, the number 4 comes back into play.
That's right. Wow. So this video where you're performing, tell me more about this.
The video with the jazz band Dedat was shot and recorded in Cortez, Colorado at the Sunflower Theater. They shot the video because we were auditioning for the NPR's Tiny Desk contest, and we did very good. We barely began as a band, but NPR did note us as one of their top 10 finalists. So that was cool to get that recognition from NPR. I love NPR.
So do you have an album for Dedat coming out soon?
That's going to drop in September. We still don't have an album title yet, but I've recorded about 9 songs with them so far. We're trying to do 11. So when I get home after this, I'm going to head home, hit the studio, and record the last 2 songs.
Traditional raw base material.